So this is how you realize how much alcohol you should drink tonight. And the first thing that we need to go over is that there's three categories for different amounts of alcohol that you can drink. So we're going to start off with these categories. So the first one being you drink and you get drunk. The second one is you drink but you don't get drunk. And the third one is you don't drink. So look, obviously these are broad categories. If you take category one, you drink and you get drunk. Obviously, if you get a little bit drunk, that's different to getting extremely drunk. And, the second one, if you drink but don't get drunk, there's a little bit of a difference in there. You can drink a little bit but not get drunk, and you can drink a little bit more and not get drunk. You'll be in a little bit of a different mental state, but it's pretty similar. And in the third one, when you don't drink, that's pretty much the same all the time. So really, the biggest variance is only with that first category of you drink and you get drunk. So when deciding, say you're at a function, some event, whatever it may be, you're just chilling with your friends or whatever, and you're like, okay, how much alcohol should I drink here? Well, again, it's not necessarily like you have to pick one of these categories for the duration of your life and stick to it. It's more just like you should be a bit more selective when you're looking at, hey, okay, this is the event I've got, so this is how much alcohol I'm gonna drink for it. So using that first category, you drink and you get drunk. This should only really be reserved when you are with people who you're close with. So, depending on how you act, whatever, it's not really going to tarnish your reputation, because you've already got good rapport with everyone you're with. If you're with your friends and everything and you embarrass yourself a bit and you get really drunk in front of them, they're not really going to care. Like, it is what it is. They know you pretty well. So, like, no one really cares. An example of this, like I've gone on trips with my friends, for like a week, and we just go and party hard every night. Like, that's the time, just let loose, just drink as much as you want pretty much. But compare that to something I had a few months ago where, this was for a university club I'm in, and we had this party and everything. I'm in like 3 different clubs for university, but anyway, this was one of them. We had this party, and obviously there was alcohol and everything. Actually, the event got sponsored, so it was free alcohol. So I was thinking, like, maybe I should go all out. And I mean, I didn't go all out, but like I did end up getting quite drunk. And I reflected on that, and I was like, really, like, was that the right place? Because I mean, luckily, like, I was still quite sensible, but I did do a few things where I was like, if I had my time over again, probably shouldn't, especially because these are people that I'm going to be working with for, the course of the next year, however many years in the future. So even though it is just a university and club and everything, should be more responsible. There's people there that I'm meeting for the first time. Like, you don't really just want to be drunk in front of them and have that be your first impression. Because obviously, as we know, first impressions are important. That's not really the subject of this video, but yeah. And that's really when you would look at going with that first situation where you drink and you get drunk, when you're with your close group of friends or people that know you well at the end of the day. And even if you embarrass yourself, you do something stupid when you get drunk, it's not really gonna matter. So moving on to that second category now. So you drink but you don't get drunk. So you use this really in social situations where, say you don't, other people are drinking and you don't have to, maybe worry about getting home, just because you obviously can't drive yourself home, after you drink and everything, for the most part, if you drank more than a certain bit or whatever. So if you've got someone else driving you home or you're gonna catch an Uber or whatever, usually that's when it's good. And, when you drink but you don't get drunk, you pretty much retain full mental clarity, whilst you also can fit in socially if it is like a socially acceptable occasion to, be drinking a little bit. So that's why this is good, because you can fit in socially whilst also maintaining that full mental clarity. So in that situation before where I was at that party, a few months ago, this is the option I should have opted for. I should have just drank a little bit and kept it there pretty much. Still had good conversations with everyone, but I didn't end up getting too silly because I ended up getting really drunk. So that would have been the best option. And again, this is all learning points, you learn for the future. For me personally, one thing I've always kind of struggled with when looking at this second option, because I mean, it does seem good, at first glance, like you drink a little bit, you still manage to have good conversations with everyone whilst fitting in socially by having a bit of a drink. For me though, I kind of feel like it's just empty calories you're consuming at that point though, alcohol. Like, is there really a point in drinking if you're not getting drunk? Because it's like, again, alcohol's like objectively not very healthy at all, obviously. But obviously the counter argument is, again, you fit in socially. So two conflicting arguments, I guess you just have to weigh up which one is more important for you in the situation. And again, it's context dependent. You know, one night might be different to the next, where you feel like, you know, one event you may be like, I do want to fit in socially here, and you know, I'll have a drink for a little bit. But the other night it might be like, hey, it's not even worth it really to have alcohol here, even if it is socially acceptable, just because health-wise and everything, whatever you want. Again, obviously if you drink once a month, it's not really that bad for your health or anything, but yeah. And the third option, so this is just blanket statement, no drinking at all. Again, like I'm saying for these, you don't want these to overrun your life and just be like, you use these all the time, potentially, you know, but you just want to be selective about when you use each option. So with this one, again, when you don't drink, it has no detriment to your health, obviously, but obviously the main counter argument here is you could be socially outcasted potentially, you know, especially if you are maybe in a situation where it is very socially acceptable to drink, if you're at, you know, a bar or whatever like that. So overall, I would say for me, probably number 2 or 3 is best. So either drinking a little bit and not getting drunk, or just not drinking at all. However, again, I think option number 1, drinking and getting drunk, is obviously the funnest. But again, probably try to use it for more rarer occasions. And I think when you do that, it really just kind of ends up meaning more, you know, like it's funner because you're not getting drunk every single week. You know, if it's only like once every few month thing where you do get really drunk, like you make more significant memories that way. At least that's for me personally. And yet, another example for number 1, where you drink and you get drunk, you know, you and your friends, you end up going to the Galapagos Islands, you know, and you go and you just spend every night, you wake up, you stay up late, you wake up at 12 p.m, you stay up late, you drink, you party, then you do it all again, you know, for a week or something like that. Like, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. But again, only really if it's for like a week a year. Like me personally, I wouldn't want to do that for more than like 1 or 2 weeks in a year. 2 weeks absolute max, even really 1 week. Like I think it gets a little bit repetitive and boring after a while. But again, you know, if you do it for like 1 week a year with your friends and everything, that can be really fun, definitely. And yeah, like I said, I've done that a couple times, but yeah, no, it's good anyway. Then kind of getting into the other side of it. So what I like to refer to as post-alcohol clarity. And obviously this is really just the morning afterwards, you know. Obviously, the more alcohol you have, you'll end up getting a bit of a hangover and everything, quite obviously. So hangovers are interesting because they do have a double whammy effect, you know, of you end up waking up later usually, at least for me. And, you know, if you are, say, during semester at uni or in school, you know, and you've got to do work, you know, you'll probably not get as good quality work done, or, you know, you'll stay up or you wake up later and you won't get your work started until later. Now, in saying this, again, obviously you want to live your life and you want to have your fun nights out. So you don't want, you know, your uni semester, your assignment that's due to stop you from living your life at the end of the day, obviously. But yeah, I think it's just important to remember the time and the place and the context, you know, like the night before you have an exam, obviously you're not going to go out then. But, you know, other times, definitely may be able to relax and be more lenient with yourself. So yeah, obviously alcohol is an intensifier, you know, really intensifies the experience. So again, it's not about cutting it out completely, but just really being more selective about when to indulge and how much to indulge in it. And especially if alcohol is free, you know, because you may be like, I think a big part of alcohol is obviously the cost associated with it. You know, a lot of the time it's not super cheap. And so it's like, especially if it's free, like the event that I was just at, that I mentioned before, where it got the alcohol got sponsored for the night. Like it was very easy to just pick up as many drinks as possible and just want to crack into them. So yeah, but again, you know, you pay with your health, kind of. Again, obviously if you drink once a month or something, it's not super bad. But yeah, recovery also for exercise and everything, and you know, like I mentioned, study stuff as well, and not being able to concentrate earlier in the morning, the night after you drink. All things you have to consider as well. So to consider benefits of alcohol, you know, obviously it makes you have a better time, quite obviously. You know, anyone that says that it doesn't probably hasn't really had as fun night out or as fun as it can possibly be. Also, you know, you got to remain cognizant of the fact that if you do get drunk, most likely, you know, the next day you're going to wake up later, not going to be able to do what you usually do to as high effectiveness as you would when you're completely not hungover, you know. And also weigh out, you know, the cost of the situation, of the cost of the event. If you don't drink, you know, are you looked at, you know, maybe as being a little bit socially outcasted because you're not drinking while everyone else is drinking? And, you know, how much is everyone drinking? Because again, that's an important factor to weigh out. You don't just want to drink, you know, 10 drinks if everyone else is only having 1 or 2 drinks. You know, you still want to be in the same ballpark as everyone else. So that's pretty much that. I feel like that covers it pretty well. This is something that I've been thinking about quite a lot recently, because you just want to make sure that you put yourself in the best situation at all times to display yourself, you know, as best. You know, you want to represent yourself the best. Obviously, your reputation is integral. You know, it's one of the only things that you fully own, that is completely unique to you, your own reputation. You know, no one else out there shares it with you. So you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward in all situations. But in saying that, you also want to make sure that you're having fun and you're enjoying life. So these are just things that I've been considering and everything. And yes, that's pretty much all I'll say there. I actually am going out tonight, actually, so I'm trying to think which option should I pick. I think I am with some friends tonight, so like some good friends and everything tonight. So I think it would be good to use option 1. I mean, there's going to be some people I don't know there, but it's like one of those like kind of like bar clubbing events type of thing. So like I don't know them, but like I also not really going to be talking to them. So yeah, a bit of a difficult one. Which one should I pick? I'll probably go option, I'll probably get a bit drunk. So probably option 1, I would say overall, but not extremely drunk because I am kind of in public still. But yeah, probably option 1 because I am with some close friends.